Hi everybody, my name is Gavin Poyer and welcome back to another weekend reaction. So we are finally doing the Thursday album mixtape, whatever you want to call it, section 2 of the House of Balloons triple disc, whatever it is, I don't know. But I'm sorry it's taken so long. I know I promised to get it out earlier, but it just didn't end up happening because, I don't know, I was busy or tired or something. Usually when I'm tired, I don't want to record because I don't think that it shows maybe my best effort in the videos. So I wanted to save myself for that. Um, I have a beer here. I highly suggest that you have one too, or your drink of choice, whatever you want, because it's going to be a long one. So it's best to kind of just settle into it. So we're starting off with Lonely Star. Don't know what to expect. Part one was amazing, so I could only assume that part two is going to be the same, if not better. All right, we're starting off with Lonely Star. Here we go. Oh, where are you gonna take me? Where are you gonna take me? Okay. By the way, I forgot if I didn't say it or not, but I'm looking at the lyrics on Genius, so hopefully that'll help me better understand things. The tattoos on my skin, but they're all pure. Promise me that I'll love you, that you'll remember me. When you fuck, then you see my face. My body is yours. Every Thursday.
Seems like pain, no regret. All your best friends. Ooh, oh yeah. 'Cause everything you do leads to that. Right, right, right. Yeah, well, baby, I could be your best friend.
I think right off the bat, something about him in this song kind of really reminds me of Michael Jackson. There's a lot of vocalizations that he's making that's making me think that specifically. Like when Michael Jackson would go like oh, stuff like that. Obviously not the same because The Weeknd is his own artist, but it sounds some of it sounds very similar. Loving the beat on this one. Good Lord, the chorus on this one. I love the line, baby, you can have the cars, the clothes, the jewels, the sex, the house. He sounds so good when he says that. Oh my God. And the beat is just relentless in this one. Something I like to do, I'm listening to this on Spotify, by the way. Something I like to do is whenever I hear a song that I like off the first listen, doesn't really matter what it is. I usually give it like a heart so I could come back to it and see if I like it again. But I'm pretty sure I'm gonna love this one, so I'm just gonna do this right off the bat. Liking it, loving it. All right, here we go. it's interesting. He's talking about this girl, and I can see through Genius. Her name is Valerie. Um, and there's like a lot of like side notes and everything, so it's giving me a lot of information about these characters and kind of how he is, starting off this section of the mixtape. He's talking about Lonely Star, and that's the girl that the Weeknd is seeing. I don't know. It's just kind of interesting to see, and I'm curious to see how their relationship develops because obviously she is important to this whole thing. Okay, so coming up, we have an interlude by Valerie, which will be interesting for me to kind of digest to see what she says. But another thing about this song is I think right off the bat, this is probably one of my favorite ones that I've listened to by him so far. It's had that immediate reaction out of me where I am just so enveloped by the whole thing. It's also a lot of sounds that I love hearing, like the bass in this one just really gets to me, and the way Abel does his vocalizations in this one are just killing me. You know what I mean? Anyways, let's keep on going.
Yes, all I can say is yes. Promise me I won't regret you like the tattoos on my skin. Like the wrong pill. Promise me one day I'll love you that you will remember me. When you fuck them, you see my face. My body is yours. Give them any other day, but Thursday belongs to me. Every Thursday, I wait for you. I'll be beautiful for you. Every Thursday, I exist only on Thursday.
Interesting. So we learned that, every Thursday he comes to see this girl. The significance behind Thursday, I don't quite understand yet, but, if the whole section of the mixtape is named after Thursday, then I'm sure that Valerie has a huge significance to this portion of the thing. Maybe, I don't know, maybe she sets him straight or something with the drugs and everything. I don't know. I don't know if you can really change the Weeknd though. Hmm. It's interesting to think about, but let's just keep on going.
Not on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but on Thursday. Not on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but on Thursday.
I love the guitars.
Awesome. So the first song I'm in love with. The first song is fantastic, and the first song is a really interesting kind of introduction to this whole thing. You know, it leaves, I think it leaves a lot of questions. Why is he seeing this girl? Why is Thursday significant? You know, I don't know if those are going to be answered necessarily, but it has my curiosity piqued. Okay, so number 2, we have Life of the Party.
Welcome to the other side. You're lost. Maybe step outside your mind. You've been letting go. You've been letting go. You've been thinking about me, but ever since I put you on. She got money for blow. Just drink a damn nose. Prescription ain't an issue. You can fix it with the. If you wanna do it, baby, I'm right here with you. I'm on cloud nine, baby, you're mine. You can follow me, you can follow me if you want to.
So, just right off the bat, the beat really speaks to me in this one. It's just, just it feels like the dirty side of the weekend is right back, and I'm totally okay with that. In fact, definitely okay with that. So interesting. So the lyrics are going towards, you know, him talking to this girl who is rich because he can tell that her nose is filled with cocaine. You know, just check her nose. Prescription isn't an issue. So, you know, he's talking to this girl who is into cocaine, presumably, or drugs in general. And he's just trying to woo her. But it's interesting because, you know, in the last video he was talking about this girl, and I don't know what she means to him. Is the thing, because every Thursday, you know, he goes to see her, right? Supposedly. But on other days, he's just back with drugged out girls and just trying to sleep with them. I'm not sure. I'm not really sure what to think. Oh my god. I love the way that some of his tracks can just ooze like sex, you know? And it's not just like it's not just like love making, it's like sex. You know what I mean? It's it's down and dirty and I don't know. It's I think the beat really helps supplement that feeling. At least for me. It's very hard and just I don't know. I'm gonna keep on going. Oh man, this reminds me a lot of Glass Table Girls or House of Balloons, whatever it's called. it's that one video that's like my favorite. But yeah.
I got two little ladies, I got one little room. There's a room full of niggas. Baby, what you wanna do? The way you move got me feeling so hard. I've been thinking about it, baby. I've been thinking about it lately. I'm so far gone, and you are too. Show me how you go down with the trust in your body. Take that step, you're the life of the party. Know that step, you're the life of the party.
Oh my god, that part right there, it's like the whole kind of hook and verse is all kind of like a lead up to that, like just kind of explosion of like listen, it's like it's very orgasmic is the best way I could describe it. It's very orgasmic for your ears, he's just going with his freaking voice in the background, and then the beat kind of builds up to that sound in the background, and the increase of tempo, and just I'm sweating. Okay. My face is just going to hurt by the end of this because I'm smiling so much. Life of the Party, loved it so much. It's just a hard beat in the background, and then The Weeknd just sounds so smooth and sexy over it. And like I was saying before, his vocalizations really help the track kind of move along and just kind of create this total vibe. And with that one specifically, there were like, kind of breathing sounds that can be associated with sex. Listen, if we're listening to The Weeknd, I'm gonna say sex and orgasm and dirty a lot. I'm gonna be using like those 3 words, and that's just the way it's gonna be. Yeah, it's just the way it's gonna be. Anyways, let's get on with the next one. We're doing Thursday. Ooh. Ooh, okay. So hopefully with this one, we'll learn more about Valerie and maybe why the day is so significant. Maybe. Okay. So, the first thing that kind of hops out to me is the kind of like chain sound in the beat. I don't know what that is, but it kind of sounds like just kind of like a chain being dragged around on the floor. I don't know if that's significant at all, but it's just sound that I'm hearing and recognizing. Um, Interesting. So I'm reading on the side here that it seems that this track is about Abel and or The Weeknd. Abel is his real name, in case people didn't know. So The Weeknd and Valerie, and kind of their. I think it goes into a little bit more depth on their relationship. Interesting. So I want to say that Valerie Thursday, the girl, whatever her name is putting in a lot more effort towards this relationship than maybe The Weeknd is, because The Weeknd is obviously cheating on her if they are having any kind of agreed upon like actual relationship, like boyfriend, girlfriend, partner, whatever you want to call it. If that's the case, then he is definitely cheating on her. Unless it's agreed upon that they see other people when it's not Thursday. I don't know. Right, so why are you calling again? But it's not Thursday, baby, why are you calling? So obviously he doesn't even care about her when it's not Thursday, which is pretty horrible. Pretty horrible. That you have one day designated to this girl, and then the other days you're just sleeping with whoever you want. It's not making me feel very good about The Weeknd, although he is sexy. Don't get me wrong, he is sexy and very dirty. What's the other word? Orgasmic. Anyways, let's keep on going. It's interesting because this is the namesake of this section, but it honestly has one of the least amounts of lyrical content in like all the songs so far, which is interesting to think about. I don't know if that is necessarily proving a point and saying that he doesn't really care about this girl, or that, saying Thursday over and over and over is significant in the way that it's the only day that matters to him. I don't know. I'm kind of just streaming out or shooting out a stream of consciousness right now, just trying to kind of grip the concept of this. Now that I think about it, the kind of chain sound that I recognize in the beginning of the song kind of reminds me of somebody with keys in their pockets and kind of moving from like left to right. At least that's what I can hear in my headphones, because it switches from side to side, kind of alternating like feet. Like if a person had feet and they had keys in both their pockets, they would be walking that way. I don't know. Just a thought, food for thought. Mm. Mm. This is interesting because I think that The Weeknd has an insane ability of kind of creating this whole world and just surrounding you with it. If you fully accept it, that is, because you could be just, listening to the music for music's sake and, just listening to it, or you can like fully immerse yourself and kind of get lost in this world that he's creating with, purely through soundscape, which is incredible, just completely incredible. And this was all in 2011, 2012, 2011, I think, which is insane. That was 9 years ago. 9 years. I know that a lot of amazing music has been made, but The Weeknd is one of the biggest artists in America right now, or has been for the past few years. So obviously he knew what he was doing. Okay. On to number four. Number four, I think. The Zone, featuring Drake. Not a fan of Drake. Just gonna put it out there. From what I've heard of Drake, I don't really enjoy. I don't know. There's a lot of mainstream stuff that I just don't enjoy in general, so maybe that's part of it. But I also haven't given Drake the time of day. I've listened to some of his songs and I just haven't liked it, but, obviously he has a lot more to his discography. Anyways, The Zone. I'm curious if throughout these mixtapes we see a progression of who The Weeknd is. Because right now, mostly what we know about him is, sex, drugs, and alcohol. And there isn't really. Well, I don't want to say that. I was going to say there isn't much depth to him, but I realize that there is, because obviously he is a little bit heartbroken and a little bit sad, and I think probably just trying to fill that void. I think that's like one of his main purposes, is to try and fill the void that he is missing. There's a part of him that's missing. He's just trying to figure it out. So, I don't know.
I'll give you what you called for. Just let me get in my zone. I'll be making love to her through you. So let me keep my eyes closed. And I won't see a damn thing. I can feel Oh yeah.
I'm curious to see what Drake sounds like on this. Because I don't know if this is his type of beat. I don't know. But maybe that's because I haven't listened to Drake a ton. But I don't know. I'm just skeptical. I'm just skeptical because I already know that I'm not a big fan of him. Which I know is probably an unpopular opinion. Sorry if you love him, but you know, I I want to give him a fair shot. You know, I want to clear my mind of whatever thoughts I have about him before he even gets on the song.
Let me sip this slow. I'ma touch you right. Let me get inside my zone. I'ma touch you right. Just let me. Ooh, yeah. And I believe till I fall. Oh yeah. And I don't give a damn. I felt the ground fall. I left it all behind, baby. I didn't need no one. But I'm in heat tonight, baby. I've been alone for too long. Oh yeah. So I won't say a damn thing.
So a lot of these songs are very, very drawn out. And I've said before that I've really enjoyed that. I think in some cases I don't, in some cases I do. I think in this case I'm not necessarily too into how slow paced this one is. I'm still, don't get me wrong, I'm still really enjoying the vibe, but I think I need a little bit of something else to happen now. Um, which I guess at this point I'll probably be thankful when Drake comes in because it'll be a little bit of a change. It'll be a little bit of a different voice and uh, probably a different rhythm and different tempo. But let's keep on going.
I can't feel a damn thing, but I'ma touch you right. Ooh, yeah. Oh, I can't see a damn thing. I can't feel a damn thing, but I'ma touch you right. Ooh, I'ma touch you right. Oh yeah. Let me sip this slow. I'ma touch you right. Let me get inside my zone. I'ma touch you right. Just let me. Ooh yeah.
All right, so I think Drake's verse is about to happen. Curious about it. Very curious about it. Just real quick in the comments, if you've made it this far in the video, I don't know if you have, but let me know if you like the more drawn out songs like this, or the more intense songs like the first one, or the Life of the Party. Let me know if you like that version of The Weeknd better than this one. I'm curious about that. Anyways, let's get on with Drake. like I said, very, very drawn out. But I think stuff like this, where it's just kind of open space with the vocals in the background, you know, barely, well, not barely audible, but a little bit of audible. Um, it kind of just immerses you if you are willing for that to happen. Yeah.
Whoa, all these broken hearts on that pole. Man, if pole dances are art, you know what I mean? Fucking artists I know. Got some new bills in the mail, got some big favors I owe. Got some good things ahead of me when these bad bitches let go. Well, girl, let's go. Walk your broken heart through that door. Sit your sexy ass on that couch. Wipe that lipstick off of your mouth, I take it slow. She in love with my crew. She said make enough so I could try some. I thought taking drugs just ain't you. Be you, be you. Yeah, girl, just be you. And I do the shit from my hometown. It been going down and they knew. That's that north, that up top, that OVO and that XO. Your girlfriend at our next show, but it's all good, don't stress though. First night fuck, never really planned it. Take a deep breath, no one need to panic. Lips so French, ass so Spanish, she don't really like attention. I don't know if she gon' manage out here, but she got me all up in my zone. Said she like the view I got in this place. Shit, I did all of that on my own, oh yeah.
I really hate it when things like that happen because I basically just put my own foot in my mouth. I really liked that feature. I really liked it, and I think I was skeptical because I didn't know how Drake was going to incorporate himself on this type of vibe, but I think it was really successful. I like that. I like that a lot, actually. In a way, it got me a lot more interested in this song in particular. I think this one kind of dragged on a lot. I mean, it's almost been 7 minutes of just a lot of, I don't want to say dead space, but a lot of the same vibe. And I think at this point, I am just ready to move on to the next part because there isn't a lot of new content in this one necessarily, except for Drake. But yeah, I think that's just my thoughts overall. But if you love this one, let me know why. I pretty much summed up that track already, or my thoughts on it at least. So the next track is The Birds Part 1. And I am really curious about this because it's the only song, I'm looking at the track listing right now, and it's the only song with a part to it. You know, there's part 1 and then part 2. And I don't think throughout the entirety of the mixtape, not just Thursday, but the entirety of the mixtape, I think it's the only one with a part to it. So I'm really curious about that, and I'm sure that means it's probably significant to the story and to the overall mixtape in general. So let's see what that's about. I'm really digging that beat. It's really cool to see a song kind of play with silence. I think that's a really interesting part of music. For example, when like a big drop's about to happen, there will usually be a silence or something before it happens to kind of put like a punctuation mark on it. But with this one, the beat actually has silence in it, and it kind of ruins the rhythm, um, which is interesting. But after I adjusted to it, I could kind of groove along to it. Um, I don't know. I like it so far. It's interesting. It's piqued my interest. I like it.
Don't you fall in love? Don't make you fall in love. Don't make you fall in love with a nigga like me. Nobody needs to fall in love. 'Cause girl, I'm just a man. Girl, I'm just another man. Don't make you fall in love with a nigga like me. Like me.
So based off the hook, we're hearing that The Weeknd doesn't want this girl to fall in love with him because probably he'll fly away. Hence, him calling himself a bird. He's just going to escape. He's going to probably see other girls. Break her heart or something.
You try to warn me, but baby, I warned you. Girl, I'll show you this is no game. You'll be falling down upon a no return, no return. Don't you fall in love? Don't make you fall in love. Don't make you fall in love with a nigga like me. Nobody needs to fall. Just my love. Just another love. Don't make you fall in love with a nigga like me. Nobody needs to fall. I know you're rolling hard with your love. I know it's got a hold of you. I know you're rolling with it, baby, don't you lie.
Yeah, so I'm really digging the kind of way this song is constructed. I think it's really interesting so far. I think it's a little bit different from the way the other songs have played out. Um, I think just musically speaking, at least to me, basically because of the beat, though. I think it's just really interesting. Um, so I think we're given a little more information that The Weeknd. Hmm. So he has a little bit of a conscience, right? I think that's something we're kind of gathering is that he's telling these girls like don't fall in love with me. Sure, you can probably have sex with me, but don't catch feelings or else you're going to get hurt. At least he is upfront about it. At least I think he is. I want to say that he is. I don't know if that makes it any better about the situation, but being upfront about these kind of things is a good thing. Because otherwise it will seem like a surprise to the girls that are falling in love. Anyways.
Fall in love with a nigga like me, like
bird. Don't make me make you fall in love with a nigga like me, like me.
Wow. I thought that was an incredible way to kind of wrap up the song. I was expecting just the beat to keep on going, but bringing in the acoustic and having everything just halter and stop was it was really beautiful. You could see that I'm just holding my chest, just praising it. That was amazing. I love that. That was a good song. I like that one a lot. So far, the whole mixtape has gone pretty good. I would say that maybe Thursday or The Zone has been my least favorite so far. But I think even then, it's not like those are bad songs. It's just if I had to choose, those have probably been my least favorite so far. All right. So now we are on The Birds Part 2. So this is immediately following the last song. And what we learned is that The Weeknd thinks of himself as a bird, flying away from these girls that are trying to fall in love with him. But at least he's telling them not to fall in love with him. Interesting. So I think during this song, we're going to learn a little bit more about Thursday or Valerie. I think learning more about The Weeknd makes sense before we learn more about how Valerie and The Weeknd's relationship is going to develop, what's going to happen. Because obviously Valerie is more invested, calling Weeknd when it's not Thursday, and just wanting him to be around more, like an actual frickin' relationship. But that's not what The Weeknd wants. So we'll see how she reacts. This will be interesting.
She on the floor, baby got her pretty. She on the floor, she on the floor. She said I won't be loved before she falls out of love. It won't be long before she falls out of love.
Alright, so we're kind of doubling down on him being a bird, but obviously it says you have deceived her. So that makes me question if he is actually being upfront at all with these girls, kind of about his whole deal. I'll have sex with you, I'll do coke with you, whatever. I'll party with you, but I will not get into a relationship with you. I don't think all that stuff is being put on the table. I don't think he's telling them that. I think he's just kind of showing up and going along for the ride and then dipping out. Hmm.
Just a bird, I try to kiss you, but you never let me miss you. But you never let me miss you. I thought I told you I'm not him. I'm not him. Look at what you did. Nobody forced your hand. Don't you fall for a nigga like me. I beg, I beg.
I'm having a hard time believing him. I'm having a hard time believing him when he says things like, I thought I told you, don't fall for a person like me. I begged, I begged. Did he actually? Did he actually say those things? Or is this just coming from his point of view? You know? I don't know. I have a hard time believing him. I have a hard time believing him based off pretty much every single song that has followed up to this. It's just been a string of sex, drugs, and alcohol. you know, dirty, orgasmic sex. I really like the birds, or part one and part two, like together as like a whole. I think it's really telling of who The Weeknd as a person, or as a love interest. We learned a lot about him. We learned that well, if we just use the bird metaphor, he flies away. He'll stay for a little bit, but then he's just gone. He's just gone. There's no emotional maturity about him. he's not emotionally ready for a relationship, it seems like. For whatever reason. Maybe he just likes the party life, or maybe he is just haunted by trauma that makes him emotionally unavailable. I don't know. Right, so we kind of hear like birds or crows at the end of that kind of squawking. That's very eerie. I think kind of suitable though, considering that what he's doing is breaking these people's hearts. Most likely, assuming that they're falling in love with him, which he says they do. Interesting. Okay. So this is number 7. We're making our way through this thing. So number 7, Gone. Yeah, I don't know. Let's just get into it. Yeah, this is another one where the beat is one of the most intriguing factors about the song, because there's a lot going on. The pattern in it is a little bit like unpredictable, and it's kind of weird. It's hard for me to kind of get a groove going on, trying to follow the beat, which is usually a pretty good thing for me because I love the unpredictability of a song. I think that's amazing. I love it when a song can surprise me, and this so far is, it's getting there. It's getting there for sure.
Teasing, feeling, I've been on it, baby, don't you worry. You gotta keep up, 'cause I've been gone. I've been gone. Hey, I've been gone. Hey, I've been gone. Ooh. Why don't you fuck with your heart, baby? 'Cause I've been
reading this on Genius, and this is a quote from The Weeknd saying that he, looped the song and then went into the booth and just sang for like 45 minutes. And some of them aren't even words, it's gibberish, saying that's a songwriter language, which is interesting. He said that Gone was a complete freestyle, which is really, really interesting to think about because this, I don't know, this one seems very dark in a way. I think a lot of the songs so far have been dark, but this one seems more about him, I think. I think kind of about his like subconscious a little bit.
Break it, jump it, drink it, spill it, baby, touch your body, gotta taste it, feel it, I've been on it, baby, don't you worry, you gotta keep up, 'cause I've been good, I've been good, I've been good, I've been good.
I love how in his songs that he could say the same thing over and over, but always find kind of different ways to say it, there are different ways to say things. Like I could say, I don't know, spaghetti in so many different ways. Like, maybe that's a bad example, but he just has this way of really transmitting his feelings through the way he kind of makes vocalizations in his songs or how he says a certain word. I don't know. Just keep an eye out for it in case you haven't already, but you probably already noticed, so. So I have a pretty good set of headphones. I've said this in a few of my videos, but if you don't have headphones like mine, I would highly encourage it because listening to things like this is a totally different experience. Because right now I could hear him with his voice kind of moving all the way around the headset, making kind of like a full circle. It's very strange how it works, but it helps me with immersion in the song. It's absolutely beautiful. transition. That was so smooth. I love that. Oh my god. This type of beat feels like it's just kind of beating me into the ground, but I am so here for it. Kind of just the way the beat works makes me want to put my I don't know. You probably saw it. It's too hard to describe. I don't know. You're probably right here with me, right? I'm gonna finish off my beer. Okay, let's go.
I got the whole city on my side tonight. Watch us rock it out. Watch us live it up. After the show is done, you can take me to yours, but my lungs so muddy, I love the way it tastes. Drink it till I'm ugly, baby. Fuck me while I'm faded. Do that through my pillow, baby girl, I gotcha. I'm only 21, so I do it when I wanna.
Was he actually 21 when he wrote this? Like when he made this series trilogy, was he actually 21? I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you know about that. I have no idea how old he was, but if he was 21 and he did this, frick, that's crazy. That's insane. That's insane.
From the codeine, methazine lean, got me feeling kinda weak, and it's kinda hard to breathe, but you're turning 23, so I'll fuck you if you need. In your birthday suit, I'ma give you what you need, no. But I ain't taking off my black boots, I'm falling, cause I'm numb from the neck down. I'm sorry, you won't know that I can't feel it. I can win a fucking Oscar by the way I fucking beat it. They will never fucking know it, I'll never fucking show it, except when I be wheezy from another cup of potion. Dirty Sprite toasted, fast life drive slow, low life for life, let the meds flow.
This song seems like a slow kind of meditation about the influence of drugs and kind of alcohol in his life, you know. Except when I'm wheezy from another cup of potion, you know, dirty Sprite toasting. Just lines and lines about his drinking habits and I don't know, just bad habits in general, just alcoholism. Well, maybe not alcoholism, maybe that's a step too far, or maybe not. I don't actually know the severity of it, but just heavy drinking, and you know, drugs. Never really a good mixture. That always leads to kind of bad things, unless you do it safely. But in this case, I highly doubt that it's done safely. I highly doubt it. I think it is just feeding into his loneliness and filling a bigger hole, you know, the one that he is trying to fill.
I'm so cold. Let these meds flow. I'm so cold. Let these meds flow. I'm so cold. I'm so cold.
like at this point he is just kind of fitting into the vibe by, kind of making sounds and vocalizations, which I'm absolutely here for. I love it when an artist can, say nothing, say gibberish, but elicits so much feeling in it, if that makes sense. Kind of like what's happening right now towards the end of this song. It's just enjoyable to me. Okay, so interesting song. I think we learned more about his addictions or vices in that song. I think just in the way that he lyrically said it, and just in the way that he sounded, it kind of towards the end sounded like a drunken kind of stupor or something like that, wallowing in his loneliness or something like that. It didn't sound happy. I'll tell you that. It did not sound happy. I mean, neither do a lot of these songs. Even with the songs that are about sex, they don't seem... It doesn't sound like it's enjoyable. It just sounds like it's a routine or something like that, which is really scary. Sex shouldn't be something that just happens. It should be an event. It should be something that you share with someone, Well, at least in my opinion. I mean, because obviously sex means different things for different people. So, who am I to speak on that? Anyways, we're on to song 8, I think. Yeah, song 8, Rolling Stone. So, let's just get straight into it. Man, I am getting sweaty.
About it, girl, you're thinking about it. When we got here, how we fucking got here. They just recognized I'm in a life without a home, so this recognition's not enough. And I don't care about nobody else, cause I've been on these streets for too long. Baby, I've been on this too long. Faded too long, got me on this Rolling Stone. So I'll take another hit, kill another serotonin with a handful of beans and a chest full of weed. Got me singing about a bitch while I'm blowing out my steam. Yeah, I know I got my issues, why you think I fucking flow? And I'ma keep on smoking till I can't hit another note.
That's a bit sad to see the progression of this. I thought that he might get better, maybe, but it just seems that he keeps on getting worse and worse as the songs go on. At least there is recognition of what he is kind of putting himself through. Yeah, I know I got my issues, but apparently he's just going to keep on smoking until he can't even sing. Until I can't hit another note. That's just sad. This is depressing.
Ooh, but until then, I got you. Ooh, different. Ooh, I hope I'm not different. Oh.
There's a lot to be said about those 3 lines right there. I'll be different. I think I'll be different. I hope I'm not different. Like, oh man. I don't know what to say about that. It's just sad to see this happen to a person, you know, to see that just someone lose control, just to see someone lose absolute control of themselves, and to kind of just thrive in what they've become, because that's kind of what he's doing, you know. He's owning the drugs and the alcohol and the women, and that's his lifestyle now. At least that's, I don't know, that's what I've gathered from the songs and from the lyrics, and just, oh man, poor boy.
And I hope you'll still listen. Running too fast, baby, I got you. I got you. And I still got you. And I got you.
The song, I don't know, it feels like a cry for help. And I think the instrumentation and the way that he is singing is kind of supporting that. And I keep on thinking back to those 3 lines, you know, about being different, about wanting to be different, but then he doesn't want to be different. That to me just screams cry for help. Oh man. Ugh. Why? But then he's gonna kind of relapse, right? And kind of relapse into what he's been doing, and the cycle continues. I'm assuming. I don't know. Okay, we're finally here. We're on song number 9, Heaven or Las Vegas. This is it. This is the last one. No idea what this one's about, but I'm excited to, you know, to finish this up and finally get this video out. Okay, here we go. It's a real, I think, and the song will learn. I mean, based off the first line, I'm praying for all my father's sins, we're going to learn a little bit about his father, considering that that is the first line that is spoken in this. Father being the key word. Well, also sins, father sins. So obviously his father is probably to blame for a lot of the way the Weeknd acts. I'm assuming. But I'm sure that we'll learn a little bit more as the track goes on. Jeez, there's just so much happening. There's the guitar, and then the drums, and then some kind of weird sound that just happened that kind of went by. I don't know what that was, but huh. And then the Weeknd's freaking voice. Good lord. There is never enough to be said about his voice. It's just incredible. It's literally, well, maybe not literally, but it's like it's unbeatable. I'll just say it. It's insane. It's insane. It's insane. I say I am God. That's a very bad way to think. I don't think you should ever say that. I don't think you should ever say that. That means that your ego is just off the charts. That means that you can't really interact with anybody because you'll just think lower of them, At least that's the way I'm interpreting it. It may mean something else, but to me that means that he just thinks too much of himself. And maybe that's stemming from the lack of fatherhood that he had in his life. I don't know. because when I hear stuff like this where there is just like a minute and 30 seconds of just him kind of wailing away, it reads sad. It reads sadness for me. But that's also based off information we already know about The Weeknd. You know that he obviously has a part of him missing, and I think now we know that a big part of that is due to his lack of a father. Um, I don't know if we know too much about it, but we know that his father wasn't a good man. Just based off the first line, I'm paying for all my father's sins. I don't know. I think it just left him like this, which is really unfortunate. Yeah. Oh. And there we have it. That was Thursday. Um, oh my God. Oh, just give me a second. There is a lot to take in. That was a lot. I think it was a lot of it was interesting because I think the first half kind of started off as kind of the same thing as the part one. You know, a lot of sex, a lot of drugs, a lot of girls. But as time went on, we slowly gained new pieces of information about The Weeknd and who he is and kind of how he functions in the world. And with the end song, we learned a little bit about his family. Excuse me if I'm wrong, but I'm not sure if any of the other songs really talked about his family, like his mother or his father. So this one specifically really speaks out to me. Um, but we learned a lot of new information about him, a lot of interesting stuff that we know that he is not okay. We know that he's sad. He is searching. He is searching for that empty hole that he can't seem to fill. So he fills it with drugs, sex, and girls. And even when he finds a girl like Valerie, is that her name? I think that's her name. Yeah, whenever he finds a girl like Valerie, he only dedicates one day to her, and even then, that's not enough. Oh boy, I loved it. I really loved it. It was long. I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty long. You know, some of the songs reached 8 minutes, which I'm not sure if that was too necessary, but it did keep me in his world. It kept me in his world for a long time. A long time, as you can tell by the video length. I don't even know how long it's been, but it's been well over an hour. Whew. Oh, baby. With that, I think I'm just gonna call it there. That's the end of the video. I had a fantastic time, and I hope you did too. I love The Weeknd, and part 2 was just as good as part 1, if not better, because I think this time I paid a lot more attention to the lyrics and kind of what is going on, you know. While with part 1, I kind of just, felt out the vibe, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but I think it's also good to look at the lyrical content as well. Oh, baby. Okay. I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know all your comments down below. Let me know what I'm missing from the story, if I missed anything, or I don't know, if my interpretation of things was wrong, or if anybody else has any better insight. Let me know. Okay. I'm going to end it here. I hope you have a fantastic day, okay? All right. I'll see you later. Bye.